Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough. Today I'm playing a game called Cthulhu, a deck building game. I ran into this at Gen Con years and years ago. I was really impressed with the game. I was really impressed with the artwork. As you can see, it had this, I don't know, this dark, heavy, everything very black ink. The enemies and the people are they're hard to look at. It really impressed me, and I got a copy of it, and I have played it, and I forgot about this game. I put it aside, and I forgot about it, and recently I was just going through all my Cthulhu Mythos stuff, and I found it, and I was like, I need to remember how to play this. So I'm going to play it for you today, and I'm going to explain the rules. Now, I will tell you, this game may be a little hard to find. If it interests you, I know that you can still get it out there. I have seen it in stores occasionally. I've seen it on eBay. I've seen it on, I think I actually saw it once on Amazon. So I don't know how easy or hard it will be to find, but if you like the gameplay and you want it, I do know you can still get it. I just don't know if it's actually still in production or not. Alright, so the way this works is you can play up to 6 players, I believe. You can play solo, or you can play solo but with multiple investigators. I have chosen the Professor and the Hunter, and this is a deck building game, so you're going to be building a deck to fight an elder god or elder gods, plural, as well as their minions and the special magics called mythos that they summon when they come into the world. Now, your heroes all have, or your investigators all have, a different amount of health and a different amount of sanity. And it's tracked with these little trackers. They look like little Cthulhu heads. And there's a number running, like the Hunter has 0 to 40 health and 0 to 20 sanity. Whereas the Professor has 30 health and 35 sanity. Now, each investigator also comes with a special ability, and we'll get into that. I'll explain theirs once we get to that. But when a hero dies or an investigator dies, that player still has the ability to do things to sort of interfere with the game or help their fellow players. So it's sort of like maybe you're dying, but you did something that will benefit them. The Professor, for example, taught the investigators some of his research, and so there are certain mythos cards, Spell Ward, Time Bender, and Deja Vu, that will have no effect on any surviving players. The Hunter taught some tracking skills. Once per round, one investigator of the Hunter's choosing may discard 3 cards and redraw 2 new ones, as the Hunter did, which is the special ability. The Hunter says once per round, just after drawing your hand, you'll draw 5 cards. You may discard 3 and redraw 2, so that's kind of a cool effect. Now, each investigator starts with 10 basic cards. They're labeled starter at the top. There are 7 Moxie cards. This is your money. This is what you're spending to get weapons, knowledge, and fight. It's also your combat ability. You also get 3 stagger cards, and the stagger cards don't do anything. They just take up a hand space. So basically what you do, you take these 10 cards and you shuffle them, and this is going to be your starting hand. So obviously with 7 Moxie cards and 3 staggers, you're going to draw 5, so you're always going to get at least, some Moxie cards. You could draw, all 3 stagger cards, and that is going to be your starting hand. But as the game goes forward, you are going to be buying cards from the library. The library is where you go to do research, but it's also where you find weapons and items and things like that. So your Moxie can be spent on library cards from the public library, or it can be held in your hand for the combat phase. Now there are different phases to this game. There is the preparation phase, the research phase, the final prep phase, and then there's the refill phase. And during that, certain things will happen. There's also a combat phase and a cleanup phase. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, I've gone ahead. These are big decks. This is the Mythos deck. I went ahead and shuffled. This is the library deck. I went ahead and shuffled these before the game because they just were very difficult. I didn't shuffle the Elder God. Now, I'm going to shuffle the Elder God deck. I don't know who I'm going to get. And depending on how many players you're playing, and also the deadliness of the scenario you want, you'll be drawing certain amounts of Elder cards. Now, in the rule book, I'm going to play normal mode, not Cthulhu mode. I will eventually play Cthulhu mode, which is harder. But during the normal mode, it says you'll draw one Elder God and one Mythos card. All right, so we'll flip over the Elder God, and we are fighting Chuluka. She looks like this evil girl, and it says she will spawn one zombie for every active zombie, a minimum of one every combat phase. Zombies do double health damage. All right, so she will summon a zombie. Now, you'll notice these three decks are an Elder God, Library, Mythos. Over here, stored elsewhere, are the minions, and these are kept alphabetically. You don't shuffle this deck, and there's a lot of them, and there's usually multiple cards. So for zombies, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zombie cards. So I'm going to go ahead and set those aside because I know I'll be summoning these throughout the game. All right, now again, if you're doing a 2-player game, it's still 1-1. 3 players still 1-1. But when you get to 4, 5, or 6 players, you'll draw 2 Elder Gods. So you would put 2 Elder Gods out here that would be doing bad stuff. All right, so I drew the number of Elder Gods. Now I choose an investigator to go first. Well, I'll have the professor go first because I typically work left to right, and that just works for me. Now there are different phases to this game, as I mentioned, and what they are is there's the planning phase, then there's combat, and then there's cleanup. And it's during the planning phase that there's quite a bit you can do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oop, they stuck together. And you'll have a discard pile. And if your discard pile, I'm going to put my draw pile here, and I'll put my discard pile to the left. If you ever exhaust your draw pile, you just shuffle it and keep going. So I got 1 stagger and 4 starters. Now, these are called sleuth cards, but they're really moxie cards. And it says gain 1, gain 1, gain 1, gain 1. So I have 4 moxie to begin with. Let me shuffle. I already shuffled his deck, I think. Yeah. Let me draw his 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this game, the investigators will both do stuff during the prep phase. It's during the combat phase that the bad guys will individually attack. So I got a starter. Same thing. I got 1 starter and 4 moxie. Okay, that's good to know. All right, so during the planning phase, remember, moxie is used both as your purchasing power and as your combat. So if I play cards out to buy things, that moxie is gone. If I have no moxie in my hand after the planning phase, when I go into combat phase, I'm not going to be able to do any damage to minions or the Elder God. So you got to do a little balancing here. So what I'm going to do is, by the way, for the Elder Gods and the minions, you get these little, they're called logbook cards. They have health on them. So hers is 30, so I'll just use a clip and put it here on the 30. And then you get a lot of these clips, by the way, so you won't run out. I'll do 30, and we'll do another one for the ones. So if it goes down to 29, I'll just change it to 20 and 9. And she starts with 30 health. I'm going to put this here. And that's it. So for the preparation phase, what it says is I will play cards from my hand face up on the table. So I'm going to go with the professor. I'm going to do 2. And I forgot to do the library. The library is supposed to have 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So you put out 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 2 spells, 2 locations, and a piece of equipment. Now the location cards are interesting because while they're in play, they can do good things or bad things. Spells will go back into your hand. You can use those during combat, but they always have a disadvantage. They have an advantage and a disadvantage. And then equipment can help you. Like this one right here costs 2 moxie, and it says brass knuckles, gain 1 moxie. So if this is in my hand, it's going to do damage. Now equipment, you can use this number when it's in my hand, this is the what was it? Let me look it up again. That number corresponds to this is a weapon, and it says this for a elder card. Okay, the circle is found on the right number. Okay, that number right there is how much. This is its Moxie cost to buy it, and then, like I said, it gives me 1 Moxie. All right, so let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and spend 2. I want to keep 2 in my hand because I want to do damage. The only 4, 8, 3, 8. I don't have enough money, and you can choose once you've seen what's available. You can change your mind, and you can say, okay, I'm going to put another one in. But once you put it in to use as a purchase, it's lost. You can't get it back in your hand unless the card tells you it returns to your hand. So when you buy something, it goes to your hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the brass knuckles for 2. These go to my discard pile. They're done. And the starter... Oh, and by the way, at the end of your turn, any cards in your hand, you discard them. Unless you have a character that tells you don't have to do that. And there are a couple, I believe. So you will be able to get rid of the stagger cards at some point. All right, so I'm done with Professor. And let's go ahead and do the Hunter. Now, I said this was the draw, so this was his... I'm going to do the same... when you buy something, you refill. All right? And also, by the way, I just want to mention this. At the end, during the planning, during the cleanup phase, there is something you can do about the library. Okay, during the cleanup phase, you discard all remaining cards in your hand. I already mentioned that. You discard all activated cards into your personal discard. Well, I was supposed to leave these 2 out as my activated, but they've already gone to my discard. Investigators can decide together to discard any unwanted cards from the library. So they go into the discard, and then you can refill. So you can't do that until the cleanup phase. So right now, all I've got with my Hunter and his 2 purchase power is a spell. Gain 3 Moxie and take 1 sanity damage. Now that's when you use it. But I'm going to go ahead and use it. I'm going to buy it like that. And these 2, and you do them face up, I think, in your discard to keep them separate from your draw. All right, that is the end of my turn. So at the end of the planning... oh, by the way, when you draw cards from the library, this is an important rule. When you buy cards from the library, it says cards available to aid you in the fight to come. Use any Moxie. Okay. Library cards may not be used to research other library cards on the same turn. So if you buy something and it gives you Moxie, if you bought it from the library, you can't turn around and add it to the activation. But you can add like the sleuth cards that you would still have. All right, so I bought that. Let's refill it. And that's all I can do. That's all I want to do. Now, after you allocate the cards you want to use to keep in your hand, you do what's called final prep. You may play any additional cards you have researched or drawn this turn to activate them. Library cards may not be used to research library cards in the same turn in which they were added to your hand. You may now play any additional cards you have researched or drawn this turn to activate. This is when you would do like spells or anything that would give you bonus Moxie. A Moxie activated in the planning phase does not carry forward into the combat phase. Okay. So maybe I changed my mind and a new card came up, like with a cost of 2. I could go ahead and spend these 2 to get it. But I'm not going to. I'm going to stop, and then we move into the combat phase. Now, the combat phase is pretty straightforward. It goes, Elder will attack first, then Mythos, then Minions. But when the Elder God activates, you have to do whatever their special ability is. So, and by the way, the gods have different current health. If there's more than one out, you go with the lowest? Lowest to highest. And you also do lowest to highest for minions. So, but I only have 1 out. Now, on her turn, she will spawn 1 zombie for every active zombie, minimum of 1 every combat phase. So she will do a minimum of 1 minion. So she summons a zombie. If I don't kill that, She will summon 1 for every active zombie. So if I have 2 zombies out, she's going to summon 2. And this is going to get out of hand really quick. All right. Now, she's summoned her minion, and now she will attack. Or she'll do her special ability. It says zombies do double health damage. Oof. All right. So she has done her special ability. Summon a minion. The Mythos. We did not draw a Mythos card. Let's flip it. The Mythos is right here. The yellow sign. Okay. I'm not sure quite where I'm supposed to put this on this map. Mythos location. A derangement deck. I don't know what that is. Permanent Mythos. We'll just put it here right now. The yellow sign. It says for spawn, and it has the symbol for number of investigators. So it'll spawn 2 incorporeal demons. If Hastur is an active elder god, you spawn an additional one. So it spawns 3 instead. So spawn 2. So we go and get the incorporeal demons. Great. I'm already being overwhelmed here. Incorporeal demons. All right. So we'll spawn 2 of those. And remember, those are active. They're going to do something this turn because the enemy always goes first. So after the Mythos cards, activate the action, enter spawn a minion as described. Once completed, it goes into the discard pile. That's right. Some of the Mythos cards are permanent, and that's what these are. This goes here. It's done. And then the minions. Here we go. The minions will do their thing. So remember, it goes lowest to highest health. Well, they all have 2. So I think the rule said that when there's a tie, you just decide. The zombie. Now, Cthulhu says zombies do double health. The zombie says deal the investigator with the lowest health 2 damage. The lowest health is my professor, but it doubles it, so it's going to do 4. I'm down to 26 health. Now, one of the incorporeal demons. Deal 1 health to each investigator. And is still alive during the planning phase. Reduce the number of cards drawn by 1 down to a minimum of draw 1. Oof. All right. Well, those stink, but I got to get rid of the zombie because it'll just spawn another zombie on the next turn, and zombies do double damage. So these will each do... So it says deal 1 damage to each investigator. All right, so 1 damage and 1 damage. All right, down to 39. And then this one will do the same thing. I'm down to 24 health already on the professor and 38 on the hunter. And remember, I didn't kill them. So if they are still alive during the planning phase, which they're going to be on the next planning phase, because I don't think I can kill them this turn. We'll see. It is now my turn. So, in any order, I can do anything. Let's go ahead and have the hunter. Now, I have 3, 4, 5 Moxie. 5. And the spell will do me 1 sanity damage. 5 would get rid of 1 zombie and 1 incorporeal. So I will do that. Those go into the... those go over here to the minion because they'll probably be summoned again at some point. And those cards are done. And the stagger goes into my discard. So remember, I'll discard all cards away. And then the professor has 1, 2, 3 Moxie. So I will do 2 to this. And my remaining Moxie will lower the bad guy to 29. And that is the end of the combat phase. So now, it is the cleanup phase. The cleanup phase, I've discarded all my cards. They go into discard pile. I discard all activated cards, which I did. I can choose to get rid of any of these. Well, right now, I'm pretty sure I can't afford this spell. So I'm gonna send it to discard. And this Blackstone location, all numerical values of spells are doubled. That's pretty powerful. We may want to hold on to that. Gain 3 Moxie and take a sanity. Oh, I forgot to take a sanity. I'm down to 19. Psychic Scream is a spell. Let's keep that one. The Bourbon Street Voodoo Doll does 2 times damage to the Elder Gods and 1 time to each active minion. Does 2 and 1 times to each active. I don't have the Voodoo Doll yet, So let's get rid of this and see what else comes up. 4, 5. All right, we got a sword and some contacts. Okay, that is the end of the cleanup phase. Now we go back and we draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't have any of those minions that kept me lowering, so I don't have to worry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I know I've got 2 stagger in here, and 3, 3 of these. All right, so, and by the way, each time the Elder God activates, he will draw a new Mythos card. You do that every time. All right, so 2 and 3. So they basically have the same. Now, as the decks progress, the shuffle will get a little better. It is now the planning phase, and I get to do I drew my 5, now I do prep. Well, I can afford 1, 2, 3. I can afford the equipment, the spell, the action, location, but I won't be able to do any damage this turn. And remember, a zombie is going to come out, and the Mythos may summon, but I think I'm going to have to take a risk here. And the spell gives me 3 Moxie. So I'm going to spend the 3 to buy the spell. It comes back in my hand, and that's it. I'm going to gain 3, but take a sanity when I cast this Psychic Scream spell. So that is ready to go. And then for my, let's refill it. Dynamite, that would be nice, but it's 5. Contacts. Get in touch with someone in the know. Draw 2 cards. That would help you if your hand was bad, but that's not going to help me do damage. This one, Whiskey. Heal 1 investigator for 3 sanity or gain 2 moxie. That's not bad, but I already have 3 moxie, and I'd like to not spend that. So I'm not. I am done. All right. So now we go to the combat phase. Or no, yeah, combat phase. The Elder God will draw a zombie and a Mythos card. Elder's Healing Touch. All active minions regain full health. Well, good. How much health does this thing have? 2. Yeah, 2 health. Okay, so that one's not damaged, so this one goes away. But if let's say all active minions. If I had a minion on here that had 10 starting health and I got it all the way down to 1, that card would send it all the way back up to 10. All right, so good round. It is now the minions' turn to attack. Remember, they do double damage, deals the investigator with lowest health. It's always going to be my professor at this point. So he's going to take 2, and it doubles, so 4. He's at 24. He's automatically down to 20 health. And it's my turn. Man, these zombies are horrible. All right. Let's have... I'm going to spend 2 Moxie to kill the zombie. And that leaves 1 plus the Professor's Psychic Scream, which is 3. 4 health. I'm down to 25 on the bad guy, the Elder Sign, and that is the end of the turn. I also take 1 sanity because I cast a spell, and that is all I can do. All right, cleanup phase. Let's. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it. All right. So what you do is now we're to the start of the planning phase. I have to shuffle and draw 5. There are ways to destroy cards. A destroyed card is removed from the game permanently, so if you ever get a chance to destroy a card, you can destroy those stumble cards or stagger cards so that you don't get them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a stagger, but I also got a spell. So there we go. I'm starting to get more powerful. Let's shuffle the Professor. One of the things I liked about this game when I first played it and saw it, in addition to the art, was once you learn the pattern of it, how it goes, it's a very fast game, especially if all the players know. It goes pretty quick. I think it even says it's a 45-minute game with like 6 players or something. So it's going a little slow because I'm talking to you and telling you what I'm doing. But the game does have a very good flow, and like I said, the artwork in this game is just really, really thematic, and it's just impressive. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 Sleuth card. So I got 5 Moxie and 1, 2, 3, 6 Moxie here. So, like I said, some of this stuff, this dynamite gains 7 Moxie, deals 1 health damage to all investigators. So you're basically taking some what do they call it? Splash damage if you use it, but it's not bad. 7 damage of really. I think I'm gonna do it. It costs 5. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's 6. I don't want to spend 3, 4, 5, and that'll leave me with 1 Moxie. So I'll spend it to buy the dynamite. It comes in my hand. This goes to the splash damage is an acceptable thing to do 7 damage, and that is the end of that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 in this hand. And I've got another Psychic Scream spell, 3, so I could spend 3 to gain 3 and add the 2 for a total of 5. But the sword costs 4. It gives me 3, which would add to +1, which would do 4 damage. And now I have a sword in my hand when I draw it that I could get 3 Moxie. The sanity damage, that's why I don't want to take, because the professor has a lot of sanity, but... Heal investigator for 1 sanity or gain 2 Moxie. I don't know. I'm going to buy the sword. I'm going to spend 4 and put the sword in my hand, and that is the end of that. All right. Cthulhu draws a zombie and a Mythos card. Elder's Healing Touch. All active minions regain health. I did shuffle it, I promise. Well, I'll do it again just to show you, but there's a lot of duplicate cards, by the way. I think there's like 4 or 5 of each one, so it's very possible that I didn't shuffle it well enough, but there we go. All right, the zombie will do 4 damage to the professor. He's down to 16. I'm going to need to find a way to heal my poor professor. By the way, I'm not even using their special abilities. I totally forgot. The professor, all research, has 2 less. So I can put 2 back in my hand. 2 back in my hand from that first purchase, and I won't retro that back to the previous one, but I'm going to do it now. And it also means the hunter, once each round, just after drawing your hand, you may discard 3 and redraw 2. I only had 1 stagger, so I'm not going to do that, but now I got to remember to use their special abilities. So now the professor will do 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. He'll do 2 to this one, and that leaves 4, which knocks him down to 21. And that's it for him. And then my this is 6, 7, 8 damage, 1 Moxie plus the dynamite, and the stagger goes away. Now remember, each of them are going to take a splash damage, 37 down to 15. The professor may not survive this, but I'm going to do 8 damage to her. 21 minus 8 is 13. We're almost there. All right, let's see. That is the end of the planning phase. Or combat phase. All right, let's keep going. We had to refill this. Okay. Location 5. Swan Point Cemetery. Minions receive 3 damage after their first... Ooh, that's pretty cool. After their first activation. Alright, so that does damage to them automatically. And when I put that into play, it would go here for a location, and it would stay. It's permanent. I think somewhere in the rules it said locations are permanent. Alright, let's go ahead and draw. Let's see, these go back into here. And we draw our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2 left in the draw. I got a starter, a spell, equipment. This is not looking bad. And then he draws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 1 left in the thing. That's right, because he should have fewer cards because at one turn I didn't buy anything. Oh, he's got 2 starters. But once each round, just after drawing, you may discard 3 and redraw 2. Well, the bad news is you may discard 3. So you have to discard 3, and then you draw 2 new ones. 1, and then I'll have to shuffle this. So you're going to start with 4. You're going to start with fewer cards in your hand. You discard 3 and you draw 2, but that's the cost of taking it. I hope I don't draw a stagger here. I drew a stagger. Okay. All right, and he's got 3 moxie. So that is that. It is now time to buy. Let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to save the psychic screen. Well, ooh, this takes 3 sanity damage. Wow. Okay. I've got 1, 2, 3 moxie, 6 moxie. Nothing to help me heal. Let's save the 6. We're going to try to just get her dead. I'm going to save the 6. And he's got 3. And he could buy this for 3, but he's going to take a sanity when he casts it. But it does put another card in my deck. I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to spend the 3 and put this in my hand. And that is the end of my turn. She draws a zombie. Spawn a zombie for every active zombie, minimum of 1, and then zombies do double damage. Alright, so we draw our Mythos card. Flicker. Spawn, number of characters -2. 2 minus 2 is 1, and it always says you can go to you always go to a minimum of 1. You can never go below 1. So spawn 1 blue flame elemental. Blue flame elemental. Alright. If a Fumza is active, he's not, you would spawn the number of heroes. So I would have spawned 2, but that Elder God is not spawned. Alright, this goes away. Let's see what we can do here. The blue spawn flame, oh yeah, by the way, they get to do their damage. The zombie has the lesser health. So it will do 4 to the professor. He goes down to 11. Then the blue flame, it does 2 health to each investigator. So we're down to 9 on the professor. And 35 on the hunter. The hunter looks like he's going to be able to do the deal. All right, let's go ahead and attack. 1, 2, 3, 6. We'll spend 2 to get rid of the zombie. That leaves me with 3, 4, and he only has 3. So it will take 4 to kill this, 1, and that'll do 2. Or we just try to 3, 4, 7. Let's do it to. We're gonna hit her straight, not the minion. We're gonna do 3, and I take 3 sanity. I'm down to 16. And then he's going to do 3 sanity. 1, 2, 3, down to 31. But total damage is 4 plus 3 is 7. And 7 on her. 13 will take her down to 6. Alright, and then refill this. Shuffle. I draw 1, 2. I'll have to shuffle. Okay. 3, 4, 5. And his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. 2 stagger, unfortunately. And 1, 2, 3. But I think I can do this. Stagger. 1, 2, 7. Doesn't matter what happens. I am going to be able to defeat her. So remember, she draws a zombie, and then a Mythos card. Each investigator destroys 1 random card from their discard. All right, 1 random card from my. I don't have a discard yet, and we do here. So let me shuffle these and destroy 1 random. Oops. And we got rid of a stagger. I'll take that. Excellent. All right, and that card goes out of the game permanently. Okay, and the dynamite is what I'll play this turn. All right, so the zombie will attack for 4. I'm down to 5 on the professor, and then the blue does 2 health to each investigator. I'm down to 3, and down to 33. But between the professors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 damage. Now, I will take 1 when I use the dynamite, so the professor's down to 2 and the hunter's down to 32. But between the 12 damage, this one only has 6 left, 7. So, but the rules say that when you destroy the Elder God, the others flee, and that is a win. Now, that was an easy version of the game. I'm going to play this again in the future, and I will play it a little harder. Maybe I'll play it with 3 or 4 guys. I don't know. We'll play, or maybe we'll just jump straight up to the Cthulhu mode, which brings out multiple Elder Gods. All right, that's all I got. This is called Cthulhu, a deck building game. It is. I forget the name of the company. Hold on, let me see if I can find it for you. The name of the company that did it is called Wyvern Gaming. Wyvern Gaming. I'll try to put information in the video description so you can find it. Let me know if you like this. If you do, I'll probably play it again. I know I'll play it again, but whether I record any more playthrough videos is up to you. If you like it and you want to see more, it's a fun game. I'm happy to do it, so let me know. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this playthrough of Cthulhu, a deck building game. I'll be back soon with another video. Until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.